Marvel Cinematic Universe is starting to recharge itself after a couple years of lulls for a lot of different reasons. I've actually been thinking about this quite a bit. Even the times where there wasn't a lot of stuff coming out, there was a lot of stuff coming out. But now we've got a big May release of Thunderbolts Asterix. I know how I feel about it. I texted you after I watched it, and I have no idea how you feel about it. So I'm going to go first. Just give my initial impressions. And
Okay.
I'm sure we'll agree with each other or have a fight, whichever one works out.
Okay. All right.
This is the best. This is the best Marvel movie they've ever made, hands down.
Wow.
Without question. It's better than Falcon Winter Soldier. It's better than Falcon Winter Soldier is probably, I would say, is like the bar for a lot of these movies, but this movie hit every.
You just mean Captain America: Winter Soldier?
Yes, Captain America Winter Soldier. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And this movie hit every bar. Like, okay, does it do this? Is it funny? Yes. Does it have action? Yes. Mm-hmm. Does it have these ideas about a serious topic that affects our world right now? Yes. Do all the characters feel like grounded and real? Yes. Is the villain more complicated than they seem? Yes. Like everything about this movie, like you just turn this movie on and just watch it and you're having a good time. And they desperately needed this movie to be good. And I think they knew it was good for a long time ago. I think they knew this was going to be a good movie a while ago. Mm-hmm. And that's why the Thunderbolts with the asterisks, and that's why all this kind of extra stuff, because I think they knew they had something they could manipulate and play with. Mm. And they were right. Without this movie, the new Marvel stuff that they're trying to do with Doomsday and Secret Wars and Fantastic Four, they wouldn't work because nobody would care. But now they have a movie where people, saw it, they like it, it's doing well, and now they can move forward. It's a unmitigated hit for Marvel and Disney. And I think it's going to be one of those movies that people watch for a long time. All right. That's my take. Mike's, what's your take?
The best Marvel movie of all time. That's what you think?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to need a little bit more support on that, but I thought it was good. I've been long on the bandwagon that this movie was going to be good. I think it's the return of Marvel. Mm. I think this is the first movie they've made after realizing they were sucking and after trying to fix themselves. And I think this is the first result that we get to see of that.
Sucking is a hard. Here's the deal.
No. It's not a harsh. No,
yes, it is.
You and I both watched Secret Invasion.
But listen,
sucking is not a harsh word.
Listen. If you remove Secret Invasion,
if we remove something that they did, better. Okay.
But here's my thoughts. You're right.
But they released Secret Invasion.
I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight with you about that. I'm going to say to you that you're absolutely right. That they took a pause, they regrouped, they invested. Here's the deal. If you look at this movie. Mm-hmm. I hate doing this. But I'm going to anyway. I hate comparing this to Captain America, Brave New World, but I think I have to because both of them came out this year.
Yeah. They both came out this year, right?
Captain America, Brave New World had a number of problems.
Brave New World was the last of the old Marvel, I believe. Yeah.
And here's what I'm thinking. Like, if Brave New World...
The last movie, but not the last TV show. I think the last TV show is still coming up.
Is it? What show?
Ironheart.
Oh, yeah, we'll see. Brave New World had a number of problems and issues. So was it watchable? Yes. And I thought it was fine. I thought it was a fine movie. I think it was good. I didn't think it was great. I mostly enjoyed it because I like Sam Wilson and Anthony Mackie as Captain America.
Yeah, he's good.
Brave New World had the attention to detail, the script, and the budget of Thunderbolts Asterix, that movie would have been way, way better. And I that's.
You think this was higher budget?
I think, you can just tell. And here's the deal: like you can just tell just from. Well, if you look at it, like if you look at the directing, the set pieces, all kinds of stuff, and then you look at the talent, Mike. Like look at look at the actors versus Brave New World. We've got Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Lewis Pullman, David Harbour, like all these people, like David Harbour, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Florence Pugh, they can pull a movie on their own. This movie has all three of them. And plus, like, people like Wyatt Russell is good in this movie. Lewis Pullman is going to be a hit now. Cause like he did such a good role in this movie. So Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes is the quintessential Winter Soldier now. Like, and Florence Pugh is a bigger star than Anthony Mackie, and you could just tell that she was carrying this movie, but she wasn't carrying it on her back. She wasn't struggling because this movie's easy to do, but she was a hit. Like this movie was Florence Pugh's movie, 100%, and she took it and nailed it. It nailed everything about it. And so, like, just having the people, just having the actors versus all we have for Brave New World was Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford. That's it. You know,
wasn't there a third really big name in that movie?
Who?
I'm drawing a blank.
It wasn't. No,
but I thought there was a third.
No. I mean, I guess the guy who played the leader, he's not a big name.
No, he's not a big name.
No. So you had
he's a strong character actor, but not a big name.
So you had an ensemble cast of a bunch of good actors versus two actors just trying to struggle with a bad script and
a bad CGI video game fight scene.
Yeah, and Thunderbolts had a great script. And even though there was CGI in this movie, they relied on it in a different way. Like, they were far more practical things that you could kind of touch and feel, even though they were probably CGI. The CGI was definitely not like, it wasn't like, hey, we're going to show you CGI. It was like, hey, we're going to use the CGI to tell a story.
For instance, Florence Pugh actually jumped off of that building at the beginning of the movie.
Which is great. That set the tone.
Now that she was connected with wires and stuff, they just painted that out, but she did jump off that building.
And that set the tone for the whole movie right there. You know? Yeah. So, yeah. But Brave New World was trying to say something about Harrison Ford, which is fun. But this movie, Thunderbolts, was actually talking about mental health in a serious way. Like you give the super soldier serum to Steve Rogers and becomes Captain America. You give a hyped up super soldier serum to someone with obvious mental issues, drug addiction, and everything else, and abuse, and you give it to him. Yeah, obviously it's going to turn into a monster, you know, and it's really interesting how they use the Sentry story to tell that story. They did a phenomenal job with Sentry. They couldn't have done a better job with him. So
is Sentry from the comics?
Absolutely.
How comic accurate is the Sentry?
Pretty comic accurate. So I don't have the details of his origin, but the thing is, so Marvel, the comic book company, did a promotional stunt that they said they found a superhero that Stan Lee made a long time ago, but they forgot about or was in the drawer, and they finally figured out how to bring him back. And they said, this is the Sentry. He was straight up from the 60s. But that was a lie. They actually made the Sentry. But in the comic books, his story was that he was a superhero along with Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and everyone else. But something happened and he was erased from history. Like, he was completely erased. And then he returned and nobody remembered him. So it's really interesting how, like, he's manufactured, you know, so they kind of use the actual company story of how they made the Sentry they incorporate that into the movie, which I thought was really good. But yes, he is super powerful from some kind of experiments and stuff that his dad did to him, I think, or something like that. But he is the most powerful superhero in the Marvel universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the comic books. He's the most powerful.
More powerful than Captain Marvel.
He's more powerful than Captain Marvel. He's more powerful than Thor.
Wow.
He's more powerful than all of them. But there's a catch. It's the Void. Okay. He has multiple he has personality disorders. I forget what you call it. Dissociative disorders. He has a dissociative disorder, and he has the Void, which is just pretty much what you saw in the movie. A dark, evil, nihilist being who believes nothing matters. And so imagine someone who thinks that nothing matters, but they have the power of like a god. Like, and the thing is, the Sentry is unreliable. You don't know what he's going to do at any moment. You know, like at any moment.
Right, who shows up? Is it the Sentry or the Void?
Yeah, he could easily just turn into the Void. And so like he's very unstable.
So the Void's also from the comics.
Yeah, the whole Sentry Void thing is all packed up together. It was all together when they created Sentry, because they wanted someone super powerful, but they couldn't. They had to give him some kind of kryptonite. They had to give him some kind of weakness, and the fact that he's crazy. I hate using that term, but he's got mental issues. Makes him you can't, like, right now he's the most powerful being in the MCU, but he's not going to do anything. Like he can't.
He's sitting it out.
Yeah, he can't use his powers. And so again, they did a very, very good job with Sentry. I don't think they could have done a better job with Sentry. They did great job. I've been talking for a while. What kind of takes?
What'd you think of how they dealt with Taskmaster?
I'm not ready to talk about that, but I will. Okay, I have two problems with this movie. The way they handled Taskmaster is the first one. I'll go with the first one.
It was shocking to have a main character death so early in the movie.
I don't know.
I think it was unexpected.
It was unexpected. I actually read an article. They did it in rewrites. So after the strike, they went back to the script and they said they needed something to shock the audience. They wanted something to kind of show that these characters are mortal, that they could die, and so killing off Taskmaster could do it. I don't think that was the case. I think that what they told people, I think that the Marvel Studios is cleaning up a little bit around their house, and they're looking at different characters and stuff that in the MCU, and they're thinking, okay, who can we get rid of? And Taskmaster, she never fit in the MCU very well because of her origin so much different than the original character. But the original character from the comics has no real backstory. He's kind of doesn't have anything worth talking about. So when they created the Taskmaster for Black Widow, it was understandable that she's going to be controversial because she's so far removed from the actual source material. But the actual source material doesn't have anything. No one knows who Taskmaster even is. And so, like, he's like, I can understand fans of Taskmaster wanting a guy to be in the costume, but it's ridiculous. They just did the best they could. I actually liked Taskmaster in Black Widow. And in the fight scene that I saw, I thought her costume was awesome, and I thought her fight was especially awesome. I really was looking forward to seeing more.
In this movie?
Yeah, I actually liked it a lot. Yeah. Here's the problem. I would have rather Marvel just not included Taskmaster and just left her out completely than kill her like that, because it felt disrespectful to people who like Taskmaster. It felt disrespectful to people who like Black Widow. And like Florence Pugh's character, Yelena, knows her. Like at the end of Black Widow, they were on the helicopter and they went. They knows her enough, and like it just seems odd to me that Yelena would have been so nonchalant about her death. She did say show some respect, but I understand she sees death and she deals with death all the time. But she understands Antonia Dreykov's backstory. Like, it's disrespectful to what Black Widow was trying to do with her backstory. And it's all tied to, like, Scarlett Johansson's character, Natasha, and what she went through. It just seemed, it's a mistake. And listen, people are going to talk about that death for a very, very long time because it's an obvious mistake to an otherwise flawless movie. Like that,
I didn't have a problem with it when I'm watching it, but now that you say that, I think maybe Yelena could have had more of a reaction, but they weren't really close.
No, but think about this, Mike. You know her. You've seen her before. She was part of an organization that you were a part of. So you understand the pain and the suffering that she went through. And then a person you've never met before shoots her in the face. And then 2 minutes later, you're relying on this person, Ava Star, the ghost, to get you out of a bad situation. And then you go work with Ava and then take care of Ava. And then you go protect Ava. And then you go join a team with Ava. She just killed, like, that doesn't make any sense.
You know, now that more that I think about it, I think it works well. I don't think, Yelena and Taskmaster weren't that close. She was one of the villains in Black Widow. They kind of turned her at the very end. Who knows what's been happening since then? I mean, Yelena's been off on all of these missions.
But you shouldn't
She definitely hasn't been hanging out with Taskmaster.
But you shouldn't do that work. Like, the story should do that work. Too often,
I think it did.
No, it did not. We don't know anything. We know that she killed a bunch of people in Bangladesh, but that's it. And like, here's the deal. People do this too often. They like something and then they use their imagination to paint over the plot holes of a movie or a book.
I don't think there was a hole here.
It's a definite hole. Taskmaster is definitely a hole.
They're not close.
No, you're saying they're not close. Like that.
They're not.
You don't have any proof of how close they are.
What has said that they are close?
What does it say that they're not close?
What has said that they are close?
Okay, go back and watch Black Widow. Okay, watch the whole thing, and then watch the very end. They're going on a mission to help the other widows. So it's
right.
Alexei, the Red Guardian, was on that helicopter. Yelena was on that helicopter. They were going to go help the other people, and Taskmaster was on that helicopter. The fact that they could have given us a 2-minute scene, a minute scene where Taskmaster shows up and Yelena sees her and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "I have a mission." And then Yelena's like, "I don't want you to be here. Go away." Blah blah blah. And she's like, "No, I'm going to do this." That's all we wanted. They didn't give us anything. We saw her face for 3 seconds and that's it. Like that was lazy storytelling. It looked like they just jammed it in at the last second. And plus they got people to go to this movie using Taskmaster's face.
Nobody went to this movie for Taskmaster.
Lots of people went to Taskmaster.
No.
Lots of people. Go to Reddit.
No.
Go to Reddit. Look around. A lot of people
lying. They're lying.
I understand what you're trying to say, Mike, but
nobody went to this movie for Taskmaster.
These are my problems with the movie. These are my problems. It might not be your problems, but they're my problems.
Did you go to the movie for Taskmaster?
I definitely wanted to see Taskmaster. Yes, I was actually excited that Taskmaster was around. And I was very disappointed when I found out she was going to die. Very disappointed. Really? Yeah, it's just like, the movie hits everything perfectly.
Did you find out ahead of time? Is this one of the spoilers that
Mike? I read spoilers before I go see a movie.
So you knew it going in. I think that maybe colored your reaction to it.
No, it didn't. It shocked me.
Maybe if it was a surprise to you, it would have been worth it.
I was surprised when I read it. So what's the difference between me being surprised when I read it and surprised when I watch it?
It's a big difference.
No, I would have been more upset if I went to the movies and not known.
See, I don't know.
Listen,
it might have been worth more to you.
Listen, I love this movie. I absolutely love it. A+. But that is one of the movie's only flaws. Only flaws, and that's it. If they would have taken that out, the movie would have been totally different tonally. And I have a real problem with someone who says they're an Avenger who shoots someone in the face on screen. I have a real problem with that. But whatever. It is what it is. I hope that comes back. I hope what Avatar does, I hope that comes back. I hope that somehow it comes back. I hope whatever that Taskmaster
what's the difference between shooting Taskmaster in the face and shooting some unnamed Hydra henchman in the face?
I'll tell you this right now.
Okay.
The vault. What was it designed to do? That whole vault thing. What was it designed to do?
It was an incinerator.
And why were they there?
To kill each other.
Okay. And who organized that?
Val.
And she's the bad guy of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And who survives that situation?
Yelena, Bucky. No, Bucky's not there. Yelena, Bob.
Walker and Avatar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then after they realized it was a trap, they worked together to get out. Now imagine if Taskmaster wasn't killed. Imagine
you could have had 5 people do that up against the back thing, up the silo.
That's a plot thing that you can work out. But imagine if no. Imagine if Taskmaster would have dodged the bullet. And then Elena said, let's stop. Taskmaster would have lived. But because Ava killed her, she doesn't get to live. And so Taskmaster doesn't get to be a part of a party that she could have been into. And so it's just, I think that I can understand why they did it. But I think that later it's going to be proven as a mistake. And I think it's a mistake because, and listen, I know these scriptwriters and stuff like that. They're going to go back to what happened to Taskmaster at some point, and it's going to be a problem for the Ghost character in the Avengers. It's going to be a problem. I can just see it. It's going to be a problem for
maybe that's intentional.
Maybe I don't think so, but I think maybe
some people said that was meant to be Ghost's part of her tragedy because she didn't. They felt she didn't have enough tragedy going into this movie, so
she felt very upset about it too.
Yeah.
No, she didn't. She didn't feel upset about it at all. No one did, and so that's like if they would have been more upset about it, then that could be like if Elena said you killed Taskmaster, Ava pulled the trigger, but you told her to, but she didn't even say that. Like they cared. They cared.
Mission. That was their mission.
Elena cared more about a stranger they just met than someone she knew for a long period of time. What's the deal with that?
I don't know, and I still think that you're attaching Yelena and Taskmaster more than
they were. They came out of the same movie. They both appeared.
Yeah,
they both
debuted
in the same movie. Mike,
one was the good guy and one was the bad guy.
Here's the deal. This is different. You don't care about Taskmaster. I do, and so people who care about the character Taskmaster are upset. People who don't aren't, and that just makes complete sense, and it's okay.
I think there's 3 groups. I think there's people like me that don't care about the Taskmaster. There's people like you that care about the Taskmaster and want to see that character continue on. And then there's another group of people that care about the Taskmaster but want it to be a guy, and so they're glad the Taskmaster got killed off.
Yeah, but that Taskmaster's never going to come back. They're not going to recast Taskmaster. So the incels can go have the L no matter what.
Well, whatever happens after Secret Wars, right?
No,
this whole thing's getting rebooted.
Yeah, Taskmaster's such a small character that we might get him in 20 years, but not anytime soon.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough about that. The second thing that I didn't like at first. So when I actually read the spoilers for the movie, I didn't like the very final trailer. What's it called? The end credit scene.
The end credit scene
where they talk about.
Before we get to the end credit scene, let's talk some more about the movie.
All right.
I do feel like I like the movie, but I do feel like the ending, and I love the ending in that it wasn't your traditional heroes fight the big bad, and there's a big fight scene, blah, 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 blah. So props to whoever, like the writer or the director, or the writer and the director, whoever came up with the idea of not having a traditional fight scene at the end. I like that. But something about the ending of the movie just felt anticlimactic to me. Like when the movie was over, I was like, it's over? Like there isn't something else, or there isn't something more? Like I felt like I needed more from the ending than what I got.
I can tell you why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's say you are a kid and you get a set of Legos. It's a big Lego set. It's the Millennium Falcon. Okay. Your parents bought it for you for Christmas. It's $1,000, whatever. You start putting it together, right? And every day after school, you come home and you can't wait to get home and start working on it. And you've been working on it for weeks. And half of it's done, and you're just thinking, okay, if I push through next week, it's going to be finished. Now I finally accomplished this. But then you open the door and your dad says, surprise, I put it together for you. How would you feel? How would you feel?
That would be horrible.
Yeah. But here's the deal: your dad loves you, and he didn't understand.
Is that what happened in the movie?
Yeah, the heroes band together. Listen. The heroes band together, right?
Yeah,
they band together and they fight. And they first of all they settle their differences. They realize that they're alone. They realize that they need to be with each other to just mentally survive, and they need to have a higher purpose. Yelena basically sacrificed herself and risked her life. To save Bob, compared to she just barely met. Then the rest of them do the same thing. They help Bob realize that he's not alone.
I think helping Bob come out of his darkness is part of Yelena helping herself out of her own darknesses, which is why, like, she ran into Bob at the right time when she's having her crisis. And that's why she's so attached to him so quickly. And that's why she cares so much about helping him.
Sure. I'm fine with that. So they're all done. They saved the day, right? but they never get to make the decision themselves to become the Avengers. They don't say to themselves, we need to be something more.
Well, they wanted to be a team. They were going to be the Thunderbolts.
They didn't have any discussion about this. They didn't have any kind of moment.
What are you talking about?
Listen, Mike, listen. They didn't have a moment where they said, we are the Avengers. This is our fate. This is our decision. We never got that from them. That's why it feels anticlimactic, because we didn't get that moment. Like at the end.
You mean just the label of the Avengers?
No, the actual action of the main characters doing something for themselves, whereas another character does it for them. Like it's a term called.
Because I think they were leaning towards becoming a team.
Yes, but they didn't do it on their own. Like it's a term called Das es Machina, which means hand in the machine. And so back in Shakespeare and some other old plays.
So you think the reason that I feel like something was missing is because Val like pulled the trick and said, "Hey, this is the new Avengers."
Absolutely.
Instead of me seeing a scene where they all themselves decide to become either the new Avengers or the Thunderbolts or whatever.
It could have been a moment where they were like, "This works. This is good. Now, now what are we going to do?" But they never had that moment. They were just kind of thrust upon it, and so it's.
I see what you're saying. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Well, like, okay, here's the moment. Like, it's interesting. Avengers, the original Avengers movie, came out 15 years ago today, and so there was a moment with the Avengers in that movie where. Before they actually fought everybody, when the Hulk shows up and everything, that scene where they kind of go in a circle and they're all kind of grouped together as a team, right? And Captain America finally gives orders. That's the moment where they're like, "This is us. We're going to do this," right? And like, and yes, there was a moment where the Thunderbolts get together as a team and work together, but there's never a moment where they're like, "We are making this. We're going to do this," and like. There's a history in the Marvel comics where the Avengers aren't connected to the government. In fact, they've never wanted to be connected to the government because they don't trust the
They weren't in the MCU.
Yeah, and so now they are, right? And so like there's a problem with that, but other than that, that's kind of why it feels anticlimactic. There wasn't a moment where the climax of the story was when they come together inside Bob's head or whatever and tell him that he's not alone, and they come out of it. Yeah. But that moment, the movies moment should have been something else. But that's a small tonal thing. And again, I kind of feel like they were rushing to the exits. This movie's 2 hours and 6 minutes. They were running out of time, so they kind of like, let's just get this done. But that anti.
Yeah, I felt like I needed something else. I don't know what exactly I needed. Maybe you're right. But yeah, something.
Yeah, but I mean that's
like maybe I just needed a scene of them eating shawarma in a deli or something.
You didn't even get that, Yeah. What else you got?
I will say at the beginning of the movie, Yelena's hallway fight scene was great, better than anything in the new Daredevil series.
Yeah.
Yep.
The fight, I had no problems with the fight scenes at all. Period. The fight scenes were great, all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that they were so good that you kind of miss them. Like they're so good that they're almost like this feels too smooth. It's very interesting.
Even the effect of Sentry's like whatever he does to people puts them into a void.
Yeah, can I talk about Sentry's
power?
So
creepy. It's so creepy. Yeah, please, because I don't even know what he's doing. Like, do those people come back?
So here's the deal. In the comics, this is not true. In the comics, he's just
the little girl came back, so they did come back. Okay.
Yeah, in the comics, I'm not sure how his powers work, but I don't think.
How creepy was that, man?
Which part?
The Red Guardian saves that little girl, and then
she's poof's gone. Yeah,
and then she's just gone. Yeah,
I think his powers. I think the movie decided to make his powers telekinesis.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's why.
Because he was moving the water.
Here's why. Mm-hmm. Professor X.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and you know Jean Grey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They are both of the X-Men.
Their powers are called psionic. PSI psionic. So the idea with psionic powers is it's all from your mind, your mentals, right? Your brain does it, right?
Yeah.
So if Sentry has telepathic psionic powers, he can do things like move objects with his mind, which we saw him do. He can create an invisible force field around his body so that he can protect himself from getting hit. He can fly. He can stop bullets in midair. But the psionic powers also can apply to the mind. So he can, for example, bring other people's consciousness into his own. And I think that when he was using his abilities to kind of dust people or whatever, he was actually absorbing those people's minds and ability and into him. So what I'm thinking was the Thunderbolts were also in those torture rooms, but also everybody else that was blinked out were also they were absorbed into his
they were also in their own.
Yeah.
Their own, right.
So it's very interesting. They showed the movie rightly did not try to get too deep into that because it would have been too complicated. But as far as theory crafting, his psionic abilities make a lot of sense. And it makes sense that they created the super soldier serum that gave him these powers. Because the mind's infinitely more powerful than the physical body could be. So it makes a lot more sense. So again, I hope that someday they'll kind of go into more detail about that, but they probably won't.
And I think earlier in the movie when he was touching people and like they were going into like their past, I think he was there with them too.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. So yeah, it makes sense that he has psionic abilities. And again, this is just stupid theory crafting stuff that doesn't matter. But I do think it helped me make sense because like there's nothing the scientists could have done to make his physical body that strong. But if he had telekinetic powers, it makes a lot more sense.
Okay. Is there a Thunderbolts in the comics at all? Any kind of a group that this group resembles?
Yes, Mike. We have talked about the Thunderbolts several times. I will talk about them more. You want me to give you a whole origin story?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right. So Thunderbolts was created a long time ago by a guy named Kurt Beswick and the artist Mark Bagley. And back in the day, they just came out as a new superhero team called Thunderbolts. There was no knowledge of what they were going to be. And nobody really understood why Marvel was making a brand new superhero team that no one ever saw or heard of before.
Now, I can't remember, were they or were they not tied to Thunderbolt Ross?
They were not tied to Thunderbolt Ross.
Okay. And nor are they in this movie. They are not tied to Thunderbolt Ross in this movie.
It was just a name. It was
the name of Florence or Yelena's Pee Wee soccer team.
Yeah, in the comics, it was just a name they created. But at the end of the comic, and then the end of the first comic, it was revealed that Baron Zemo took a bunch of villains, gave them new powers, and made them look different in order to disguise themselves as heroes because all the heroes were gone from a catastrophe. And then the idea was Baron Zemo was going to lead this team of villains.
So that's pretty similar to this movie too, because the heroes are gone. There's no Avengers.
Yeah,
so it gets a new superhero team.
Yeah, it gets even better. So, but the idea was Baron Zemo. It was that they were going to become heroes, get the people's trust, and then start using their trust to get what they want, like money and power and stuff like that. The whole scheme eventually failed, and eventually everybody found out they were villains. And then the comics spent a couple of years showing these villains trying to prove themselves as heroes. Around, I forget when, there was another catastrophe, and the U.S. government becomes sort of like taken over by Hydra. It wasn't the government. It was S.H.I.E.L.D. So like Hydra took over S.H.I.E.L.D. basically. And so like, Harry Osborn, the Green Goblin, became Secretary of Defense of the United States. And he created, guess what, the new team of superheroes, guess what he called them?
Better or worse than our current Secretary of Defense, you think?
About the same.
Okay.
No, way worse. Green Goblin's always will be way worse. But guess what he called? Okay. Guess what he called his new team?
The Thunderbolts?
No, he called them the New Avengers. But the New Avengers were all villains that were costumed up to look like heroes. So the same kind of thing. So the Green Goblin got a bunch of different, like Bullseye was on the team. Venom was on the team. A couple other people were on the team, and he was like, "Listen, you guys are villains, but I'm going to pay you and make you be heroes." So it was a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, that collapsed as well. But they were the new Avengers, and so when that was out, there were two Avengers teams. There were the Avengers, the underground Avengers, like Captain America and everybody else, and then there was the new Avengers who were villains. And so what you're seeing is this take on the new Avengers. The idea that Valentina, whatever her name is, how do you say her name?
Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
Yeah, the idea of Valentina is sort of taking the Green Goblin role, and she's a villain, but she has her own superhero of former kind of anti-heroes, and she's using them to be her Avengers. And so, but
Yelena's like, we own you now.
Yeah, she kind of does. Yeah, but see, it's also problematic that the woman that tried to kill you, the woman who tried to kill a whole bunch of people, now you're working with her because you want this fame and fortune. That's going to come back to them, and that kind of goes back to
I don't think Val's going to be leading them at all.
Are you serious?
Yelena's going to be leading them.
No way.
Val's going to be kept at a distance.
She
will be lucky that she's not sitting in a prison cell.
Mike, there's no value in that. From a storytelling element, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is too important to have her not do villain stuff.
Don't you think we should have gotten a better performance from her in this movie?
Her performance was fantastic. I thought she did a great job. Yeah, she was funny.
I don't know.
But also we saw a brief...
I felt it was a little bit too subdued.
We saw a good glimpse of her backstory, which I thought was really well done. And then when she said there are two types of people, bad guys and worse guys. And that's kind of, and that whole thing in her head.
See, I didn't think that her backstory was that good either. That was one of the weak points of the movie, I thought, because every other character's dark room is something that they did or that they were personally involved in that went badly. Hers was her father did something bad.
The movie wanted to show a human side of her, just like they did with Thanos. Like they wanted to make her more human. That's all they did. That's all that was. Because she's already a bad guy. You don't need to make her a double bad guy. But you do need to make her a little more human. And I thought it was good. I thought Julia Louis-Dreyfus did a great job. I thought she had fun. I think she likes doing it. So she's not going away. And then,
I thought she was a little too subdued.
And there's no reason to have someone like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, like Valentina, and not make her a problem. Like you make her a problem. That's the whole thing. She's going to be fun to watch her make. Like there's no story without conflict and struggle, right? And so the Avengers, the new
I
Avengers,
did like her. It's De Fontaine, like defense.
Yeah.
You don't call him the Secretary of Fence.
No, it's
remember that.
Yeah, Louis-Dreyfus did a great job.
That was a good bit.
But the thing is, like going back to if you go to the post credit scene, it was 14 months later.
All right, so the mid credits scene, the first one is wait. Okay. The first post credit scene is the Red Guardian is in a grocery store with a lady who is shopping for cereal. And he keeps trying to get her to buy the Wheaties box because the new Avengers are on the Wheaties box. That was the first scene, right?
Yeah.
Good scene.
It was fine. I thought I like David Harbour. I think he's funny. I think I like the character Red Guardian. But that's valuable movie time. They could have used that for something else, but I'm not going to complain too much about that.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was a good scene. I am on the side of I think they should stop doing these mid-credits and post-credit scenes, but
I'm indifferent.
They're not going to.
I'm indifferent. It's whatever. But the end credit scene, I thought that was the very last one was the best end credit scene they've done in a long time. It told a lot of story.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said it's 14 months later?
14 months later. Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually did a little math. How long in Captain America Brave New World, he was Captain America for 3 years, which means it's 3 years since Falcon and Winter Soldier. Okay, got me so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Falcon and Winter Soldier happened right after Endgame. So it was like 3 years. So Brave New World is 3 years after Endgame. Okay, got me so far?
Okay.
Okay, you got me?
I got you.
Then it was 14 months after the things of Thunderbolts. So at the end of Thunderbolts, it's been 4 years, 4 months since the end of Endgame.
Okay.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Good. And so I'm not really sure why I did the math. I'm not really sure that matters, but I just did. So anyway, the conversation at the end was about.
I thought you were going somewhere, man.
I thought so too. I'm tired. I'm sorry. At the very end, there was a dispute because Sam Wilson wants to create his own Avengers, but the Thunderbolts already exist, and
he's getting a trademark on it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but there's one thing that I thought was
new Civil War.
Maybe no, I don't think so. But here's one thing I thought was very interesting. Yelena looked over at Bucky and said, "I thought you were going to talk to him," and Bucky said, "I did. It didn't go well." So what happened to that conversation? I'm super curious about. But I like it because it set up Fantastic Four and Avengers Doomsday as something that's going to be kind of contentious. Like, who's going to be, like the Avengers?
Avengers, yeah.
Who's going to do this? I thought that was really interesting. Mm-hmm. I am very curious to see how they go, how's that going to play forward in the next movies.
I was Team Cap during the first Civil War. This time I'm Team Yelena.
I don't think they're going to actually fight. They won't have time to fight. It's going to be about. It's going to be like when the threat occurs, when the threat comes. How are they going to organize themselves enough to become a cohesive team?
They're going to have to. They're going to have to mash together, and it'll be the blend Avengers. It's going to be the Avengers, but there's going to be a moment where they put aside their differences and work as a team. That's definitely going to happen. Right.
And I don't really care about the drama between that time. Like, it's going to be a lot of drama where everybody's going to be arguing and fussing with each other and all this other stuff. And that's fine. I'm okay with it. But it's interesting. There's a behind the scenes photo of them filming, Avengers Doomsday. And it has the actor who plays Shang-Chi. It has Thor, and it has Captain America, and it has the big black dude from Black Panther. I'm curious. I can see we have the new Avengers, but I also
the Gorilla Clan guy from Black Panther.
Yes.
Yeah.
M'Baku. We have the new Avengers, but I think that Thor, Shang-Chi, maybe M'Baku are going to be like Sam Wilson's Avengers. So you're going to actually have two different groups of Avengers probably for a little bit, which is going to be kind of confusing for fans, but it's going to be fun. But as far as like a movie that helped,
don't forget that we've also got Miss Marvel's Avengers.
Who? We don't even know if she's formed a team. We know she's got something going on.
She's trying to, supposedly.
Yeah, but
unless that's part of the things that they wish they had never done.
No, we don't know, and that's the problem. We don't know.
Are they going to resolve that, or is that just going to be hanging there forever?
We don't know if people have contracts to play those roles anymore. We don't know how much money once you spend. We don't know anything about anything, and so again, all we know for sure that in the MCU universe right now there are the new Avengers. There's beef between Bucky and Captain America, Sam Wilson, Captain America, and the Fantastic Four just showed up into the universe. That's all we know. So until Fantastic Four in a couple months, we don't have anything to go on. But I'm pretty excited about the Fantastic Four. If they can keep if the MCU is going to be this good, if they're going to make movies on the caliber of Thunderbolts, then we got nothing to worry about.
So this movie's the only movie I can think of that has spoiled itself.
What, Fantastic Four? Yeah, it did spoil it.
No, the Thunderbolts.
How's that?
I'm watching Thunderbolts. I'm watching the credits, waiting for the last end credits scene. And I'm watching the credits, and I'm looking at the songs in the movie, the score.
I heard about that.
The music credits, yeah. And so the music credits say Fantastic Four theme. I'm like, that hasn't been in the movie. That wasn't in the movie anywhere. Why is that in the credits?
Yeah. But
and then, so it's in the final credit scene.
That doesn't bother me too much.
Fantastic Four shows up, so spoiled itself.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Fantastic Four spaceship?
I love the way it looks. Movie. I think it's fat. Yeah. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, just what do you think about it? It's showing up. It's entering our it's entering Earth's orbit.
It means that whatever happens at the end of Fantastic Four, they're going to be sent to the MCU universe. So we already know the end of Fantastic Four. We already know what happens. They're going to get sent to that universe. But we don't know how it's going to happen, but that's what's going to happen. We already know that.
Right. So all 4 of them are coming here.
We don't know. I don't know about all 4. We just know the ones we know.
Who do we know?
Well, we see the ship. But I don't want to say that all of them are coming because that's just being it could be presumptuous. I don't want to.
Why wouldn't it be all of them though?
I don't know. I don't want to be. I don't want to be wrong, so I'm not going to say that all of them show up and then months later they don't show up. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm fine.
I don't leave the Rock behind, or what's his name?
The Thing, dude.
The Thing. The Rock.
Yeah, well, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, I think that's it.
No.
There were a few articles that I saw for some news you can abuse.
Oh, go for it. I haven't seen anything besides the movie. I haven't done anything.
Even Kevin Feige is talking about how they're doing too much, and he wants he says it feels like homework instead of entertainment now watching MCU projects.
I can see it. I mean, that's not a bad take. That's
supposedly
fine.
This is something that he talked about internally at Marvel.
Yeah, but he's complaining about something that's giving him his company billions of dollars. So like whatever, like it's just okay. And whose fault is it? It's not my fault. You made a bunch of movies. Like you
right.
guys,
yeah, it's their fault.
You know, so like
so now I guess they're gonna limit themselves even further than what they've been doing.
One movie a year, 2 movies a year. That's fine. If this,
I think that's I think that's good. I don't think that's a bad thing.
If the movies are as good as Thunderbolts, I have no complaints at all.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But like don't like put out articles like tooting your own horn. Oh, we need to calm down. Oh, we need to relax. We need to stop making like you guys were doing this. You were printing money, and you would have kept making the movies the way you were making them if they were still good. And here's the deal: Thor was not good. Thor in the Dark World, not good. Thor Ragnarok,
whoa.
They were putting out subpar movies for years, but everybody went to see them, and they didn't say a word. But all of a sudden, when people stopped seeing their subpar movies, they came to Jesus and realized they had to calm down and take more time with quality. Get out of here.
Now, when you said Thor wasn't good, I thought you were talking about Love and Thunder, not the Dark World.
I didn't say anything about
now.
Well, we can say that. That's fine. But my point is, Kevin Feige isn't some creative genius that came to that all of a sudden realized he had to like give some quality controls to these movies. He's just no. He's just a business. He's a business executive. People won't watch his movies as much. So get out of here.
Right. He got too greedy. They got too greedy.
I don't. Yeah, whatever. Kevin Feige, congratulations. Instead of making multiple billions, make a couple billions. Okay. I don't like rich people. I have no interest in what they say at all. Whatever. If you make more money than me, I don't care about what you say. I really don't. I have no interest in what you're saying.
What's the threshold? Like, how much more do they have to make than you?
$10,000 a year extra.
$10,000 a year extra. Wow.
If you don't have to worry about paying your bills, I don't want to talk to you.
Okay.
All
right.
I'm good. Good. Anyway, what else you got?
I think that's it, man.
Yeah. All right. So that was our first big MCU movie in a while. We're going to keep doing this, guys. There's nothing in the pipe really, but we are going to do Fantastic Four when it comes out. So Mike,
it's July.
Yeah, July. So it's going to be a big one.
Not too far from now.
And from what I see so far, it might look pretty good. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, maybe you know what we should do, Mike? At some point in the future. We need to redo our list of best Marvel movies from best to worst.
Tier list.
The tier list. We got to redo our tier list because it's been a while.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And then we also should do a big news you can abuse dump to get ready for Fantastic Four a little bit. Maybe we can watch the old Fantastic Four movies, even though I really don't want to do that.
No, I don't want to do that.
No, maybe not. Okay. But in the meantime, how can fans find and listen to this podcast?
Yeah, just hit that share button and share this with your friends that like watching Marvel movies. They need all of this great information that they're not going to get anywhere else other than the Super Sideshow, share it with them. Be a good friend.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Also, are we doing anything else, Jay?
Yeah, we do another podcast called 5. We have a list of 5 things. Our last list was 5 technologies that helped the world. Our next one's going to be 5 technologies that damaged or destroyed the world, which is a lot of it.
No, we did. No, you did it backwards. We did the damaging, destroying already, and the next one's going to be the more optimistic look.
Oh, okay.
At technology.
I always think technology is bad, so that's my fault. Yeah, but it's going to be great. It's going to be good, and it's
going to be good.
We do these once a week, so tune in. Be
5
there.
things every week.
Yeah.
Search for 5 with Mike and Jay.
Yep. All right. Cool. You guys have a great weekend and enjoy Thunderbolts. I might go see it in the theater again. I don't know.
That was good.
I might just wait. I mean, the Taskmaster scene is pissing me off so much. I don't need to see it.
Come on, man.
Whatever. I am who I am. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.
All right.